So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the day that I quit college. So just a brief introduction about myself. My name is Prithvi Chauhan and I'm the founder of a healthcare investment company based in UAE. And in the last 2.5 to 3 years, I have managed to bring together billion-dollar company CEOs to be my business partners, healthcare CEOs with 30 plus years of experience to be my business partner, financial professionals that were ex-CFOs of a $400 million companies as my business partners, and I have negotiated on a $25 million deal, a $3.5 million deal, a $10 million deal, a $120 million deal, and a $140 million deal. And by the way, the $120 and $140 million deal belonged to a healthcare group which was valued around $10 billion. Okay, I have negotiated with $2 billion companies and to potentially acquire 2 of their subsidiaries. Okay, and I'm just 29 years of age, and obviously the title of the video clearly mentions this, that I dropped out of college. So how did I possibly end up in this position? How did I found the information, and how did I get into rooms with these people that I'm in business partnerships with right now, and how did I negotiate with 26 banks to finance, looking for financing for these acquisitions? How did I possibly do all of this? And the information, I will get to that in a second, but I want to take you through a journey of how it all started. So I was around 18 or 19 years old, and I still hadn't quite decided what I want to do with life, but I knew that I wanted to do something big and something bold, right? And I wanted to make a lot of money, and I want to drive sports cars, Ferraris, and travel the whole world, live in penthouses, and have just a beautiful celebrity-like, footballer-like lifestyle. And none of the careers that I was proposed had that possibility. And most of those possibilities of those types of lifestyle only existed, for a footballer, a rock star, a singer, an actor, or a model. Models not so much, but singers, actors, and rock stars and footballers had that type of lifestyle, and even among those, there were only a few people who had that. So that option seemed extremely risky to me, and I had seen people waste their whole lives pursuing that. So I was like, I don't want to be that. I want something else. And the other set of group that I saw really succeeding and making it big in life were entrepreneurs, businessmen. But there were also examples of people failing big in business. But even failing big in business didn't seem like that bad of an idea compared to doing a job, because there is still glory and you still learn a lot and you can do it again and then you can succeed. In fact, many people failed initially before succeeding. So I was just looking at options, and my mother told me, why don't you do college? Everybody should have a degree, and you should go and you should get yourself admitted to a college. So I was like, okay, I don't want to go to college, but if she's insisting and she wants me to do it, I will do it for her, but I will do it in a field I'm interested in, and I'm going to do it in a field that would help me in entrepreneurship. And I chose marketing or mass communication as my degree, and I went to college, and there were like 3 sessions a day, between 3 and 5 sessions. And whenever there were those 5 sessions, out of that, one subject was French, which had nothing to do with media, And I was like, what am I learning here? 1 year passed by, I didn't learn anything. Second year, half of it passed by, I didn't learn anything. And the way teachers would teach, they would start to say things like, oh, when you go to work for a company, when you go get a job, this is how you need to present yourself. This is what you need to do. When you go to work for a company, when you go get your first internship, on your third year, you will start applying for internship. I was like, what the hell is this? You know, I neither want to work at a job, I neither want to do an internship. What kind of, I mean, where does this path lead? And I saw all of my friends, I looked around at the people in the classroom, and I knew it in an instant that none of these people are going to go anywhere in life. And I'm sitting with them on the same boat. And it absolutely shocked me. The amount of mass hysteria that was around. I was like, these people have set themselves up for failure. It's not that they are in pursuit of success and then they failed. These guys have set themselves up for failure, and I am in that same boat. Now, if I did not have written my goal, if I would not have written my goals of driving a Ferrari, traveling the world, and I by this time had written my goals, I have been writing my goals since I was 17, I would not be able to have this kind of insight into the situation that I had, because none of my friends had goals. They had dreams, and dreams are just fantasies without an action plan, without an intention. You know, is just a dream. So I did have dreams, but then I converted them into specific goals and timelines. So I knew I was way behind, and I knew it's not going to happen here. And so against everybody's wishes, my mother didn't want me to quit college, my brother didn't want me to quit college, all my friends were saying that you have gone crazy, you need a degree to be successful in life, you need a qualification. Even if qualifications and degree don't matter, at least you need a degree to be in the room, right? How will you introduce yourself? And I was like, just for me to introduce myself, I need to spend 3 years, 5 years? This is insane. And if I have no intention of doing a job, why would I start this in the first place? So I quit, and I didn't know what I wanted to do in life, but I knew I don't want to do this. What all of these 10,000 people in the college, that's how many people were there actually in my college. 10,000 people in so many different courses are doing. This is not the pathway for me. I want to walk the path. I don't know what my pathway is, but this is not it. I know it. So I left college and I started doing a whole bunch of courses, finding mentors, and finding people on YouTube. I started to go on YouTube and I started to study billionaires. This is where I started to find out about Prince Al-Walid, you know, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Warren Buffett, and I started to study them, but there was still no real material available. So I just, these videos started to come from marketers, and I wanted to learn marketing, so I did a whole bunch of courses with Ty Lopez, I did courses with Russell Brunson, I did courses even now with Dan Lok, Sam Owens, Real Social Dynamics, and I really started to work on every aspect of my life. And I started to find that every aspect of life has a course, and I would take the course, and most of the people who were in the course were not getting results, but I was sincere, I was serious. I would just take the material, start executing it, and I would get the results every single time. I have not had one course where I did it and I did not get a result, not one. I have had many people around me that did the course and they got nothing because they didn't do the exercises, they didn't ask questions, they were not serious. But I was serious and I got a lot out of every single course. So I did courses on sales, marketing, negotiation, team building, team management, leadership, communication, and I started to identify several business models. My first business was when I was 17, I wanted to start a seminar and it did not turn out. Then I went to college, then I quit college, then I went into teaching yoga, and then that did not work out financially, and then I went and taught myself how to get good with women and dating and attraction and all of that, and then I got really good at it, at meeting beautiful women, which I was not good at, and then I became good at it, and then I started teaching it, and then I started to make a lot of money. And this is the time where I met Dan Pena, and I did QLA seminar, I did QLA hardcore, and I spent around $100,000 learning skills. All right, skill set. I was clear I need skill sets. I don't need degree, I don't need qualifications. I need skill sets. I need character traits. I need business models. I need pathways. I need systems. I need procedures. I need step-by-step models that have worked on thousands of people. I want something set that can get me my desired goal. I moved to Dubai. I started living with my brother, and this is the time where I started to execute on starting to build my company, and I found myself in a position with these billion-dollar CEOs at a very young age. And I didn't even realize when all of this time had just passed away. And I wasn't in touch with any of my friends. And after like a couple of years, when I was doing it, I negotiated a $10 million deal. I managed to get 2 term sheets from 2 major banks in the UAE to finance 70%, 50 to 70% of the transaction of the $10 million. And I was doing all these things, and I was conducting board meetings. I was doing things I had not had formal training in, but I had been trained by people who had actually done it. I wasn't trained by professors. I still haven't been trained by professors who actually haven't walked the talk. They have just been talking, but they haven't walked the talk. I wanted to learn from people who had walked the talk. And when I found these people, their experience, and they were teaching from their experience, that had a whole different power. And for some reason, I had a good gut feeling about who is legitimate, who is not. So I would always pick the person who is legitimate, who had the proof of concept, and I would sign up, and I would, do so many courses. And because of that, I am here today leading these group of individuals, and done all of these things without a degree, without a college education, without a qualification. But I still understand finance, I understand negotiation, I understand team building, I understand systems and processes, I understand how to find people, bring them together, create synergies between them, synergize their talents and experiences to create value, how to identify $1 million businesses, how to structure deals. I mean, complex stuff, how to analyze risk in a transaction. And I got the opportunity to spend time with these high profile, highly experienced individuals who had actually advised billion-dollar companies. And the experience that I gained directly firsthand from that was so much more valuable than a college education. And I saw in colleges, the lectures were structured in 3 lessons a day, that's it. Why do I have to spend like 3 to 5 years learning this basic stuff that I'm not even going to use? For what? And long story short, recently I got a message from a girl who was in my school, and then we went to college together, and we didn't talk really that much, but we could see each other and we knew each other. And she recently graduated from New York University, and she was the top of her class, on the dean's list. By the time I had finished building my board, and by the time I was doing and I was negotiating these $10 million deals and structuring financing and getting term sheets from banks, she had just finished her 2nd degree, and now she was looking for an internship in a firm. And she messaged me saying, "Oh Prithvi, I saw that you have people from Allen Overy, very senior lawyers from Allen Overy. It's one of the top firms in the world. Could you get me a reference? I want a job in a company." I was like, no, I'm not. First of all, we haven't spoken in the last 9 years. and you see this success, and you're coming in and you're, you know, asking for something for you. I mean, that didn't make sense. I didn't even know her at that point. But I could see the pathway that she took. She followed the advice of her parents and of her friends, and she did what was considered as a success, going to a college, studying in New York, and then going and getting herself an internship. So there is such a criteria to making money if you follow the path of college. You have to first get degree number 1, degree number 2, internship, work experience, junior positions, a little bit senior and junior positions, and then you've got normal position, and then you've got senior position. Your life is gone by the time you start to make any money. And the moment you start to make some money, 30 years are gone, it's time to retire. And I could see this right at the college level. And I was surprised that so many smart people, that I considered them smart, I knew that, you know, they seemed smart to me, they just couldn't see it. Or maybe they could see it, but they did not have another pathway. So this thing about taking the risk, taking a chance, giving yourself a chance, believing in yourself, believing in the visions that you see here. I always saw myself driving a Ferrari. I always saw myself with a beautiful woman next to me. And it wasn't, all of those things were not there in front of me, but it was here. And I knew that one day this is going to happen. I don't know if this is a dream or if it's going to happen, but I believed that it's going to happen. Someday it's going to happen. Somehow it's going to happen. Okay, and things have started to happen. I know that when I was sitting in my bedroom with an old notebook from my school, and I was writing my goals in it, and I was closing my eyes in my mother's house in a 2-bedroom apartment, and I was closing my eyes and I was seeing myself being successful at the age of 17, 18. I know now that those things have started to happen, and I'm going to accomplish all my dreams. And I have accomplished most of my dreams from 10 years ago. And I know the ones that I have now, I'm going to accomplish. I have no doubt about it, because that's the pathway I have chosen for myself. And this is something that I want to share with you so that you can pursue your dreams. Whatever that spark is there inside of you, whatever that ignition that's being suppressed by your environment, that's being criticized by your environment, that light inside of you, those visions that want to come out but you keep them inside. I want you to lift them off and let it out, because they're real. Otherwise you would not see them. I saw them and I had no reason to believe them, because nothing around me was anything like my dream. Everything around me, when I was seeing my dream in my mind, everything around me was opposite of it. So there was no reason for me to believe it. What I see in my mind is real, but it was. And it unfolded. It took time, it took effort, it took strategizing, it took planning, it took positioning. It took me getting the right information, not from a college, from actual people who had done things in the real world actually. And here I am in this position, found myself in this position, and this is my story. So if you like the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you soon.